In this video, we're going to do a transmission flush. I believe the full system professional way, hopefully getting out all the transmission fluid and replacing it with nice fresh fluid, letting the transmission pump out the old and suck in the new. So let's get started. Went to the salvage yard and got a transmission line, unplugged it from the radiator, cut the end off. Then we went to Home Depot and got an end that would screw into the end of the hose. Then we got some clear hose that would slide over that end and slide over that end. That way we can use the clear hose to hook up to the transmission the way it is and pump and transfer the fluid the way we want to. That's the brass fitting that we picked up from Home Depot along with that hose. I'm going to show you the receipt for that. The receipt from the vinyl tubing, that's the number there and the size and that adapter. Here's the receipt for the O-rings that we got to reseal this line back up when we plug it back in to the top of the transmission. I got those from Napa, and I got the rest of this stuff from Home Depot, or Gilbert did. I'm going to move this air duct out of the way, and we're going to disconnect the transmission line right here, hang a hose down under the car, and keep the hose up here. Actually, we're going to hang both under to see which way the fluid is going to flow before we decide how we're going to hook up the service in the drain. If I had to guess, I would think this top line is coming out of the transmission into the radiator, and that bottom line is going from the radiator back into the transmission. So we're about to check that theory real quick right now. Put a pan under there to catch the fluid. We're going to press in on the line, squeeze the clips, and unplug the radiator top line. Should lose very little fluid. At the service line plugged in, I don't know if we lost a drop of fluid. Probably didn't. Next, we're going to hook the hoses up on them and run them down under the car. I slowly massage the hole here over those seals. It should be sealed tight. I got the other line hooked up there. It should be sealed tight. We're going to start the car and see if fluid start coming out of either one, and then we're going to start measuring and adding back and forth. Go ahead, Gilbert, start the car and see if fluid starts coming out of here. It should start pumping fluid out. Make sure your containers don't flip over or fall over and you make a mess somewhere. Alright, stop. It is coming out of the transmission from the top hose, so we're going to be adding fluid into our temp hose to service back into the transmission. The thing about this process is you do not want this transmission to get out of balance, no more than 2 quarts. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this hose off of here. I'm going to show you. We're starting the car. We're letting it pump a quart or 2 out into this container. Then we got this container with 2 quarts. We're going to pour it in through that funnel up there. And we're going to keep that transfer going until all the fluid coming out here is nice, clean, and red through the tube there. Then we'll know we got it all pumped through. So we got 1 quart out. We're going to add 1 quart in. As you see, it's not going in. So we're going to start it, and then it'll probably suck it in when we start the car. You'll need 2 people doing this process unless you prop that funnel up some kind of way. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that up. And have Gilbert start the car, and hopefully it'll suck in like we planned for it to. Alright, start the car, Gilbert. It should flow down in there. We had a little bit of an issue. We pumped out 2 quarts, but it literally took about 5 or 10 minutes for 2 quarts to drain down back into the transmission through the line that we have hooked up. When we started the car, it did not suck in. It's just gravity feeding back in. So if you do it that way, it may take you an hour. We're going to see if that fitting from that thing will actually pump this stuff in quicker. This does fit in there snug. So if you want to clean this out and use that to pressurize and fill this back up with transmission fluid, that will work too, and it'd probably be quicker. That hose is dripping a little bit, so you could put a zip tie or a worm clamp on there to stop it from dripping on you. That was only 2 quarts? Mm-hmm. Alright, we're going to time, see how long it takes 2 quarts to drain down through there. Alright, we got that 2 quarts drained again into that container down there. Now we're filling the 2 quarts in back up here. 2 quarts. Here we go. Round 3. Between 10 and 12 minutes for the 2 quarts to drain back into the transmission when you're doing it this way. Disconnect this tubing, change the O-rings on that transmission line, plug it back into the radiator. Then we're going to take the car for a long test drive, heat the transmission up. That takes about 30 minutes, and we're going to check the fluid level and adjust it from there. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.